Okay. Good evening, folks. We are live. This is Extra Parish Meeting. I'm glad that the link has got out there and people can see us. Nikki is almost ready. I'm just waiting for her. There are 23 of you in here, 27 now, actually, which is something of a record. What's the matter? Oh, okay. All right. Well, just give it a few more minutes just to let other people join. I don't intend for this extra meeting to be terribly long, but it's to do with an important issue which you need to know about, and
it's all positive. Well, mainly positive, isn't it?
It will be positive in the end, but it has a negative start. I've got to admit, I've done a few of these lives now, and I am the most nervous I've ever been, which is quite something. Which is not daft. You'll understand why in a few minutes. So yeah, like I said, we'll give it a couple more minutes for people to sort of join in. How are you all anyway? Sorry, there's been no notice board today, but you'll learn why in a moment. So hopefully you're all right. Everyone's asking if I am. The answer is I am, but you'll understand shortly that I haven't been. So yeah, just give it a few more moments. I assume everyone out there is okay though, because good evening, Rachel. Good evening, Dawn. All the regulars are here. Dave Scott's in from Sydney. That's an effort, Dave. That's an effort to be tuned in from Sydney at this time. What time is it in Australia right now? It must be about 8 in the morning, something like that. Maybe 10 in the morning. Not quite sure with time zones over there. 5 a.m. Monday morning. There you go. That's dedication, folks. That is dedication, folks. So, hi.
Right. The British Empire was built on tea.
Yeah. Right. Shall we just get to it? There are 32 people in here now.
Holy moly! Hi, everybody.
That is a record. Okay. Right. I think there's enough people in here to start.
Blimey, somebody from Sydney.
Yeah, it's Dave Scott. It's 5 in the morning in Sydney at the moment. I'll tell you, that's an effort.
Holy crap.
Quite. Right. Okay. Let's get to it. The reason why we're all here is because on Friday something major happened, which rocked the foundations of everything I do on the channel, everything I do personally, everything I do professionally, and I still don't know whether or not it's going to have a long-term effect. What basically happened was on Friday, I wasn't very well. I was dehydrated. I was just generally feeling a little bit.
Yeah, heat breathing and all kinds of stuff going on.
I was ill, put it that way. I didn't feel like doing much apart from staying in bed.
But I'd send you back to bed.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm okay now, for anyone who's wondering. I'm absolutely fine now. But whatever had hold of me has disappeared. So I'm back up to full tip-top A1 condition, which is good. But on Friday, that certainly wasn't the case. Now, as most of you know, as well as doing this channel, I have a job. And obviously, with me in the state I was in really no fit state to work. And so I sent a couple of texts to the relevant parties to let them know that I wasn't going to be coming in because I just needed a day in bed to recover.
But just as a quick aside to that, it's worth noting that Andy actually works on a self-employed basis, doesn't actually have a regular contract, and it is sort of casual and on an ad hoc basis that he works.
Yeah.
Just so that
it's not what you would call a permanent contract, is it? It's
ad hoc.
Yeah, pretty much so. So basically, I can work as and when I want to, which is great for doing the channel, so I'm sure you understand. So I sent a text or two to the relevant parties, and their response was quite shocking, actually.
It was an ultimatum.
It was basically an ultimatum that said, you either come in or don't bother coming back at all. And that, it shocked me. It shocked Nikki. It shocked pretty much everyone who I initially told.
Yeah.
I was therefore forced, in the state I was in, to get out of bed and go to work unwell. And when I say unwell, I mean I do a lot of driving. The job I do involves a lot of driving, and I could have easily either harmed.
Danger to yourself and everybody.
I could have easily harmed somebody or harmed myself. Luckily, that didn't happen. I was able to pull through, and I was able to actually get it done, which is a good thing. I'm not proud of actually going to work and actually doing it, but the thing is, without said job, without what I do, I can't really do this.
Yeah, the income supports the channel,
and so I was left in that in the morning on Friday morning. I was left with the choice: I either stay in bed and lose the job and therefore lose this channel, or I go in, I muddle through and keep going. And this is basically my life now.
At the moment, we're at a bit of an impasse because Andy will go into work tomorrow. Oh, I should say into the depot tomorrow, but we don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know whether or not I still have a job tomorrow morning.
So hence, this is why what we've done is over the weekend, we've been doing a little bit of brainstorming, and we've been working a way forward in a plan going forward as to how this channel is going to grow and it's going to develop. And, you know, as ever, I will always say this, we need your guys' help and support to do that.
I think the bottom line is, I mean, a lot of you out there know that I've been trying to give up this job for a while so I can focus on this professionally. I said that a good year and a half ago, but it hasn't really materialized. I've still had to carry on as I was. And you know, for the most part, it's worked. But now it's come to the point, you know, with a threat like the one I was issued on Friday, I need really to make this work properly. And so before long, I am hoping to ditch the job completely. I can't do it on my own, which is why obviously Nikki is always there to help me. The girls are always there to help me, but I need support from everyone, really. And when I say everyone, I mean not just family and friends, but I also mean you guys as well. Now, we came up with, I was in like kind of a drunken stupor yesterday because I was still not feeling 100%, and I had all this on my mind. But even so, we managed to pull together a little list of things which we can do to help us out and to help you guys out.
Just before you get into the list, just want to address a couple of comments because I can see plenty has been.
Yeah, no, I've been talking, haven't I?
Hello, everybody. Yes, and we love you all back. And Julianne, I've not seen you on a stream before, but it's fantastic to see and read your comments. Richard, I couldn't agree with you more. Troopers, yes, definitely, we've got the Romarsh spirit. So just cut it quickly, you know, with the comments there. So.
Yeah. So. I mean, obviously, there are a lot of things going through my mind yesterday. I was wondering whether or not I could carry on doing this.
Yeah.
I obviously I want to carry on doing it because it's like I said, it's all I've known for the past 3 years. And
we also added sort of extra that we had a couple of extra our sort of, you know, every second weekend lodgers here. So we had a house full.
We did.
I've been working overtime, and it's all sort of happened. And
yeah, I mean, I did sort of, I helped myself in a way because what I did is I kind of focused on, I had one video left to edit yesterday from my trip up to York earlier this week. And I basically yesterday just focused solely on that. I didn't really care about anything else that was around me. I just basically went straight into that video, and I sat here for hours. It took me ages to write the script for.
You know why I'm glaring at you.
It took me ages to write the script for what is a 23-minute video, which these days doesn't take me all day. But that one certainly did because of everything that was going on in my head. I hope you all enjoy New Year's Week when it eventually comes out. Anyway, so that's
this video.
That's the negative side of what I wanted to talk about here. Now, what we are planning on doing to react to this is to try and make the channel more successful so that it can provide me with
better, more stable income.
Yeah, and therefore I can get rid of that shower of you know what that's down the road.
And we're also going to diversify just very slightly, but the ethos of the channel will not change.
No, absolutely not. There's no reason for it to change, but there will be some alterations as a result of this.
Yeah.
Now, you'll have noticed there was no parish notice board yesterday. That's the first thing.
You mean today?
I mean today, yeah, sorry. My mind is still in a mess. What am I saying? Yeah, so there was no parish notice board today. Now, it will come back on Sunday, but it will be the last parish notice board I ever make.
Certainly for the foreseeable future.
The reason for that is because it's going to be cut, disappear completely. But in its place, there will be an extra parish meeting like this every month. So there will be 2 live streams every month. Now, the way we came to this decision was the parish notice board doesn't really earn us that much money. It earns a few coppers. Don't get me wrong. When people watch it, and obviously you get a bit of money from watch time.
But also we enjoy the really good interaction that we get.
Yeah.
From these lives with you guys, and it's a way that whilst the notice board is important for telling you things, it can very easily be condensed.
It can, yeah, and sometimes
it's a time thief to make it.
Sometimes absolutely, and sometimes I often cover in these meetings something I've already said in the notice board on the Sunday.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like double jeopardy. So it's been a useful tool.
Yeah.
But it's time to
move on.
To let go. I will do one final one next week though, just to give it a send off, because I know you guys like seeing it on a Sunday morning. But it will be replaced with another live. So we'll be having 2 lives every month.
Yeah.
And
the
these
first and the third Mondays of every month.
Yeah. So your normal first Monday of the month won't alter, but there'll be an extra one on the
mid-month.
3rd. Now, importantly, the timing will change a little bit. They won't be an hour long. They will both be half an hour long. So cutting down by half. But
the time frame will still suit the majority of people.
It should do, and they'll run from 7 till 7:30. So that's the first massive change. Okay,
we'll make sure that we've done as we've done today, and do a pre-warning of it on YouTube, so you get the notification, so you can click on the wait button to the remind me button, and make sure you never miss a parish meeting.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, we are seeing more revenue from parish meetings than we are from parish notice boards, so it makes complete sense.
Just before you go on to the next point, just quickly catch up with comments.
Yeah, of course.
So, Richard, no, we are not going to stop doing this. In fact, I think this has probably made us, certainly me, more determined.
It's become a catalyst, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It was bad to begin with, but it now seems to me that this was kind of the kick up the arse we needed, in a way.
Jamie, thank you very much. All helps goes into the company coffers. Sally, hi Andy, Nicky, so your workplace has been to blooming me. Well, yes, there've been absolute little SH1Ts. We all have seen your videos and all the hard work that goes in. Much appreciated. Alice, union backup. Bit hard when you're self-employed. And the company that Andy is contracting to is known for their poor treatment of gig economy workers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Vincent, can't believe there are companies out there that don't care about their workers' health. Well, yes, there absolutely are companies still that are absolute, as I said, SH1Ts. I'm very fortunate. I can't say a lot about what I do, but I work full-time for a global corporation, and I work from home. So I'm very fortunate, and I'm in a position where I have a good, stable job security. I've got a lot of benefits, and, if I do take a sick day, I take a sick day. Andy's not quite that fortunate.
No, I'm afraid I'm not. But, you do what you can, basically, don't you?
Yeah.
Right, so we've covered the lives.
Richard, yes, you can guess where we are in the chair.
Correct, yes. Oh, by the way, if anyone was expecting the parish notice board today, I will give you last week's answer. It was Ringstead, which is in Kings Lynn and West Norfolk. So well done if you said that. I think a couple of people did. Okay, so let me see. So we've done the lives, you know about that. There will be some more shorts. Now, people who are familiar with YouTube will know what shorts are. You've seen them on my channel before, but they're very sporadic, few and far between on my channel, because I don't really do them. But
the week of the mega trip, we actually got into doing, or Andy got into doing them every day, and it kind of then just dropped off.
Yeah.
But I think it's definitely time that the shorts, did make a comeback.
So there will be more shorts. We have a kind of a plan with it, but we're not totally
It's
sure.
not set in stone.
It's not set in stone, but there should be at least one a week, a short one a week. And of course, the content in them will vary depending on where I am at the time. So expect to see more shorts because they also pay as well. They I don't know how much they
do
pay.
Give a revenue on YouTube.
They do give a revenue, but I don't know how much.
And they are only a 60-second video, so
yeah,
if you watch it again.
Yeah. See, we are positive about this.
Dave, just going back to your comments quickly. Dave, I know what you said there, that you will miss the notice board. But if you are on the page and in the group, Andy publishes a post on Monday morning, which essentially covers what's been said in the notice board that would have been the previous day. So even though you're not getting to watch it, you can still get to read and find out the information.
I call it the blurb. I'm sure you see it at 6:30 every Monday morning. Yeah. That's a good idea, Alice. Maybe I could do a guess where I am short. That's not a bad plan.
Yeah,
actually.
not a bad plan. You're going to
see.
Hey, we could have more shots than one a week now.
I'll add that. I'll add that to this little list I've got here. So that's shorts. Now, Tales from the Village Green and Beyond the Boundaries. Those two are 100% staying where they are, as is Mrs. TVI. Nikki will, as always, endeavour to make more of those. In fact, we've got a Mrs. TVI planned for next Saturday. Two. Have I forgotten one?
SGN. SGC and
yeah. I remember him now. So Nikki's going to keep making those. That's not going to alter. What is going to alter with them is the frequency of them, because at the moment, as you know, I just do a Tales from or Beyond the Boundaries whenever I have a chance to. But I'm going to do a few more.
Try and get in sort of maybe a couple of months of each, if possible.
If possible, it's not always possible to do that, but I'll try my best. And I'm going to try and make them a bit more topical as well, because I think what people like these days is that if you're covering something that's topical in the news or whatever, the chances are more people are going to watch it. So I'll do my best to do some more topical ones. Can't promise that because it's a bit of a grey area.
And also with the things such as the shorts, we're also going to look at putting out a message on sort of special days.
Yeah.
As well.
Okay. Adverts. This won't really affect you guys, but it's I've put it on my list because it does affect me. For the past couple of weeks, the adverts that you've seen in my main videos have only been of one type. I've reverted it to all types, so you'll see all kinds of adverts now.
Sorry.
That's another. Well, I don't think people mind them too much because obviously you just watch through them, don't you? But so there's that. That shouldn't affect you too much. There's a new part to the disclaimer which I will introduce slowly. There's
this is where it gets a bit messy.
Yeah, a little bit.
So Andy normally films things in blocks, and he might go off to East Riding and do 8 videos, go to York and do 10, go to East Riding, West Lindsay, Lindsay and do so many. And they're all sort of edited and put onto YouTube as they are filmed, as soon as possible.
Pretty much.
So this is where it kind of gets a little bit messy because it's going to look like a bit. For a few weeks, it'll probably look a bit.
Yeah, you'll see some old stuff interspersed with some new stuff. You will recognise the difference because the new ones will have this new bit at the end, which is something I was just about to come on to before Nikki mentioned that. There will be a little voiceover which is over the Strava map at the end, which basically says something along the lines of "Thank you, like, subscribe, share, watch another video," all that kind of jazz. It's just another way for new viewers primarily, to know that there are other things on my channel, and
it's a reminder to
hit
that subscribe button, because it's said at the beginning of the video but not at the end.
Not at the end. I think by the end most people have forgotten.
For those of you guys that have ever watched any of my videos, I say it at both ends, and I think it will help. So you will recognize the new stuff, but eventually it will all be the same. It's just in these next few weeks it will be a mishmash.
So the last thing on this list is there will be some more. Again, this won't affect you really. Some more tags in the videos, which was actually a suggestion of Dawn's, who's just commented there about Patreon. So yeah, that's really what we've decided to do to try and push this a bit further. Now, there are two things which I want to highlight because of all this. The first thing is that because I'm going to be doing a little bit extra stuff with new Beyond the Boundaries and Tales from the Village Green and all that stuff, my main videos, they won't be greatly affected by these changes, but I will have to sort of slim down my walking routes a little bit because I won't have time to walk around a massive place, and do a 2 or 3 hour walk and still do all this stuff as well.
Even though that, it's one thing sacrifice for another thing to come in, there's not enough sacrifices and there's nothing else that we want to sacrifice.
Not really.
And the quality still has to be there. So if a couple of streets on the route are sacrificed, it's not as bad as sacrificing a whole area or a section, of the place and potentially missing something
pretty much
important. Yeah. It might just be like residential stuff that you perhaps don't see.
I'm not gonna cut an entire section off a place if it's important, but I might just tweak the route a little bit to not walk down that street because it's nothing of interest and just go round it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So basically, if I've planned a 2 hour walk, it'll probably end up being an hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
Not be a great difference, but it won't affect the quality of the video, I'm sure. Now, the second thing I want to highlight with this is that all of this is what we've, should I say, come up with. It's as good as it may be, it's not enough on its own. So this is where you guys can help. I'm considering setting up some kind of crowdfunder where you can lob money at the channel. I know there's the Buy Me a Coffee and there's other ways you can donate. There's the Super Thanks. Super Thanks right here on YouTube, which I know some of you use. But really, I think I need to make it a bit more punchier, if you know what I mean, to make it sort of stand out a bit more. Because at the minute, my Buy Me a Coffee link is buried in the descriptions, and not everyone knows how to use Super Thanks. Maybe I can make like a crowdfunder or something where you can just lob money into a big pot in order to help us out.
The other thing is people are suggesting already things like join some channel membership and Patreon. Those things are brilliant, but we'd need to know what you'd want out of that membership, because with this being sort of quite specific, yes, you can do like the early access thing, but would you guys be okay to sort of, pay money sort of on a monthly basis, a couple of quid a month to get things on an early access basis? That's
another thing to consider. Now I don't know anything about that because I've never done it before. But if anyone out there does know anything about how that all works, then feel free to let us know. So
our next Q&A live stream for Patreon there. Victor Rose has just said. Dawn, I see your comment there about doing extra content for like sending postcards and stuff like that. That's something that's kind of been explored before. We did look at a calendar last year. We're going to look at that again more seriously this year, because last year, let's be honest, we just ran out of time and we piddled about it, and we didn't get there in the end.
No, we were a bit too busy.
But it has come to sort of a crunch, hasn't it? That this is the push now to get the channel sort of out there. So
and
counties, every county. Yeah, you wanted to pick up about that, didn't you?
I'll talk about that in a second. But while we're on the subject of making money, as some of you know, my original plan was when I got to 10,000 subscribers, I was going to give this away, the high vis, which is the wrong way around, but you know what it looks like. You should do by now, right? That was meant to be given away at 10,000 subscribers. Now, I'm still quite a long way off 10,000 subscribers, which is, it's okay, because I didn't expect to get 10,000 overnight, of course, but I think I need another plan with this. And the only thing I can...
An auction.
Yeah, that's exactly right. An auction. I'm considering auctioning this off. I know how much it cost me, so I won't be selling it for any less than what I paid for it.
But not until it gets 10,000 anyway.
Well, anyway,
Got to replace it first.
yeah, I've got to. I should replace it. Absolutely, I'll buy a new one. Might be a different colour. You never know.
An orange one. You look like you're about to dig up a road.
Possibly, yeah. Blimey. Yeah, people mistake me for council workers wearing this. Would you?
Hey, do you mind? You know what? Your hand like this.
It's just in the wrong place. It's in the wrong place, isn't it? It's in the wrong place. So yeah, I'll buy myself a new high vis because I still need one. But obviously, this one, whilst it's been a faithful servant, I think possibly it might be better off in the hands of one of you lot via an auction. So I'm pretty sure there'll be a few of you that are interested in that. Yeah. So I can get on with doing that as well.
But I mean, certainly, I think the message here is that anything that you can think of that's perhaps not been covered here, something novel, something interesting, something that's a bit outside the box. If you've not put it here or you don't want to put it in the comments below, go into the socials, private message the Village Idiot, the page, or us as individuals. We're both on the Village People.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're more than happy to sort of look at how you guys can, you know, we can help you help us and all that, you know. It's what do they call it? It's like a mutually do-da relationship thing. Beneficial. That's it. Mutually beneficial.
Okay. I didn't actually know what that was. I just went with what you said, basically. So yeah,
catch up on a couple of comments quickly.
Yeah, we can do. There's one more thing I want to talk about, but yeah, we can catch up on it. So,
Mike, increasing the subscriber base from people from other counties who aren't aware. That's what we've been trying to do.
That's the last thing I actually want to talk about, Mike, because as a result of all this, the chances of me getting to every county this year, like I originally planned, is probably zero. I will still try it, but I don't know whether it's going to be a possibility now. I don't really know of another way to sort of.
Well, yes, there's only one other way. That's share it with your friends, share it with your family, and as one of my YouTubers says, even share it with your boss.
Yeah, share any video if you think anyone's going to be interested in it for any reason.
Shares, tags,
you know, I mean,
anything like if you spot it in a group, we share it, that kind of thing.
I mean, my content is it doesn't just focus on one specific thing. I mean, there are people out there who will be watching it for the religious stuff because of all the religious buildings I go in. There'll be railway enthusiasts because of all the old and current railway lines.
House movers.
House movers who are just looking for a house, basically. People who like listed buildings for various reasons. The history of the people who live there, you know, the industrial side of it, all that kind of stuff. I cover everything, really, don't I?
It's also just want to pick up on that while we're here, which was really nice. A couple of weeks ago, one of your videos had a spike, didn't it?
Yeah,
and it turned out that it had been reshared in the local group, and it was lovely. So, you know, if you are in a group where Andy's shared a video before, hey, just give it a quick reshare and just say, guys, just to remind you, this video is here. Have a look at it.
Pretty much, yeah. So I think we've pretty much covered everything we wanted to talk about. Thank you so much for all the comments on the original post. I know I didn't give you much information on that, and I still can't give you everything that I know, because like I said earlier, I don't know whether or not I have a job in the morning. But
you have to get your head around it as well.
Yeah, I needed time to process everything that had gone down. It was a complete shock. I didn't expect it. And it just sent everything into just a complete, well, I don't even know how to describe it. Everything just went into overdrive in my head.
Yeah.
Knowing that.
Click on skip.
Okay, I don't want that. Yeah,
we don't want to plow you with an ad on this one.
So everything went into overdrive in here, which is why I was so quiet yesterday. I needed time to process it all. I needed to make sure that you guys knew what was going on and how to tell you what was going on.
And we needed a conversation.
And we needed a plan. And we've got a plan, but we can't do it all without some help from you guys. So I hope that's cleared everything up to a degree. I know it's probably not covered everything. I will, of course, let you know what happens in the morning and what happens moving forward with the job.
And we do obviously know and we appreciate that for some of you, what we've said tonight might not push, the right buttons for you. That's understood. This has been quite a considered decision as to how to sort of change things, to alter things, to get things moving forward. And none of the decisions to take things out or add things in, none of them have been taken lightly.
Absolutely not.
It's been a case of we've both had to think very hard, as well as have a house full and me working overtime and all the rest of it, as to how we can make this go forward. And unfortunately, we can't please everybody all of the time. We can only please some of you all of the time. We can, there's only so much, that we can do. There's only so many hours in a day. I have no clue about any of this editing malarkey.
No.
I know how to stand and talk into a camera and look at a gravestone. But I have no clue about this editing. This is all down to this guy.
Yeah.
And
it's
just a finite hours and days that we've got.
Yeah.
But we're still going to plow in there and do what we can to make it the very best.
Yeah.
For all of you.
Yeah. Pretty much so. And it's great to have all these guys who are.
Yeah, I mean, 35 people that are in here watching this now, and from the bottom of our hearts, thanks to each and every one of you.
Yeah, we've needed this, haven't we? We've needed this bit of support. There were 47 of you in here at peak, by the way, which is a record. I've never had that many in a live stream before. So that just goes to show that people think about the channel and they think about the effects that I have on them, basically, which is a bit of a weird thing to say, and it sounds a little bit arrogant, but I think you know what I mean.
For me, we're not going to be stuck because I have my job. It's just now that we've got to diversify and really push this forward because after tomorrow, who knows what's going to happen.
It's a bit of a tough one, but we have stayed positive. We have stayed positive, and that's, I think, the most important thing. So, let's see. We've been on air for just over half an hour.
Yeah.
So we've covered the main bits. While we're here, if there's anything anyone wants to ask us, you may as well. I mean, I'm not doing anything for the next sort of 10 minutes or so. If you want to stay around,
I'm just drinking tea.
Yeah. So the floor is yours.
Keep looking at these comments. Tell them to stuff their job.
Do you know? I wish I could do that. I've been thinking about that for a long time. That when that day eventually does come, that I can walk in there and tell them to get lost, because I have thought about it before. It's just not possible. I wish I could.
Hage detecting. Don't know if you're still in here, but thanks for joining. Richard, matching high vis, Mr. and Mrs. I don't want to high vis.
Yeah, people have suggested you should have a pink one before now.
No, I don't want to high vis.
Would orange suit me, do you think? I mean, obviously the yellow one, as you know, is what you're used to seeing. But would
an orange one, you might look like an Oompa Loompa.
I don't know how to respond to that, Nikki. Blimey, an Oompa Loompa. Brilliant. Fantastic.
So what else we got in here? Troopers, merchandise. Yeah, that's something we've been thinking of. Obviously, calendar and all the rest of it.
Dawn, the Newark meetup. No, we still don't have a date for that. It's the only Newark video, and it has to be the last one, doesn't it? It's the only one I still haven't planned, and
it's not planned yet.
It will be on a Saturday. I know that much because Nikki is 100% going to be with me for it. Because I know full well that there are things in Newark that Nikki will be tempted to film herself. Shall I say that?
I've been to Newark before, so I kind of
only a little bit of it
vaguely. I know the Morrisons.
You know the Morrisons, yeah. So but there are other things you will be interested in. I can guarantee you. I do know it will be on a Saturday though, so whenever that Saturday may be, Myself and
Bin man.
this
Is that the orange ivy is bin man look?
can't imagine that.
I would, bin man or digging up the road, one or other.
Yeah.
I would look lovely in one. I probably would, but I don't know if I want to wear one, if I'm totally honest. Because for me, I'm not the thinnest bird in the world. You know, I do have a little timber here, but I do kind of like to try and blend in the background.
TVI mug, says Catwoman Jones. Yep. TVI mug.
Yep.
I mean, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, hang on, I just clicked on something stupid. So yeah, maybe a merchandise line. I don't really know how to go about that. Not something I've ever looked at, but that could be another option. I mean, actually thinking about it, seeing as you've mentioned that, mugs.
I mean, what about something like a T-shirt, just with a hashtag Village Life and hashtag TVI underneath it,
or something along those lines.
I
mean, what kind of merchandise would you buy from us? Do you think? Yeah. I mean, obviously, mugs and T-shirts are the first two things that always come to mind. Car stickers, yeah. Sponsored head shave.
It's something I do every 6 weeks anyway.
Oh, blimey, that's from a parish meeting ages ago, isn't it? When I needed a haircut still. Nikki has actually obviously done it.
What about a sponsored head shave for this one? I mean, look at the hair on that. Yeah.
Lauren's hair is nice long. I like it long. It looks nice as it is. I'm pretty sure you'll agree. So
you look beautiful. Okay?
Yes, you do. You absolutely do. Yeah. Oh, and speaking of the girls, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't mind seeing them in a few more episodes. But at the minute, I think only Lauren is the one who wants to be.
Yeah, Lauren's the main one.
Yeah. Hannah's a bit camera shy. Victoria, no chance. You probably saw Victoria walking through the shop a bit ago, covering her head like the.
Yeah, she does.
Just doesn't like being on camera. Can't win them all, can you?
You're more likely to get the Mugatron on the camera.
Yeah. We can't take Angel around with me, can we?
No.
So, anyway, merchandise. We might look at that. But of course, we've got to implement all this stuff first.
We've got lots to do. But yeah, I mean, I'm just hoping. I don't think it'll be a bumpy road. It's just that things like some episodes might look a bit out of place. Or you'll have some with the new ending on and some without, and it'll just kind of look a bit weird. But it'll all straighten its way out in the end.
It will still unmistakably be me, though. You know, you won't be watching a different YouTuber. You'll still be watching me, and I shall still be my usual self. So, you know, in that regard, nothing's changing. Like I said, I'm not going to be altering myself. I'm just going to be altering some bits that I do. All as a result of one individual. One person who thinks they're.
Well, let's turn it around from that person doing you an absolute disservice to them doing you a massive favour.
Well, it could work out like that, but of course, at the time, as I'm sure you can imagine, it didn't seem that way. Yeah. So, yeah.
Great ideas coming in, guys. Keep them coming.
Yeah, keep them coming.
If we're not on a live,
you know where our inboxes are. So, right. I think.
So let's see. It's the 14th today, so we'll do a parish meeting. Parish notice board next Sunday, which is the 21st.
The last one. Which will probably cover all of this again, just to make sure that you guys know fully what's going on.
Anybody that's not tuned into this.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously there are 30 odd people in here, but there are going to be more that aren't here.
And then it'll be a week on the Monday after, I think, won't it? Or is it 2 weeks on the Monday? 2 weeks on the Monday. 2 weeks.
It'll be 2 weeks, yeah. 29th. Yeah, so the next parish meeting will be the first.
Parish meeting will be 3 weeks tomorrow.
Yeah,
first Monday in June.
So we'll start this new 2 lives a month thing from June. Makes more sense.
7 to 7:30 because that sort of tends to be an optimum time, and it also avoids us having our dreaded internet issues at 20 to 8.
Yeah, we discovered this at that time. For some strange reason, our internet seems to drop. I don't know why, which is it's another reason why we did this at 8 o'clock as opposed to 7, because of that problem, if you're wondering.
And it gave an extra hour in Aussie. In bed.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. That's an effort, by the way, Dave. I love that. 5 a.m. in Sydney, Australia, and you tuned in to little old me here in Rotherham.
And by the
Legend.
way, just as a quick aside before we probably wrap this one up,
Yeah.
if any of you out there are overseas or are celebrating the Overseas Mother's Day today, I know Australia and the USA are celebrating it, then happy Mother's Day.
Indeed. But it's not Mother's Day here.
No,
So
that was in March.
Yeah.
I
But
got
it's
spoiled.
Father's Day soon, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So. Okay. Right. I think that's pretty much covered everything we need to cover. Like I said, the last ever parish notice board will make a another sort of go at this. I will wrap it all up again there.
Yeah.
It will be an emotional parish notice board, I think, but it will be one that needs to be done. So
Swan song, isn't it?
yeah, pretty much, yeah. But
yeah. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Happy stitching.
Happy stitching. Have we suddenly transported into your channel here?
Yeah.
Have we?
Happy stitching.
Happy stitching.
That's for me.
For you, yeah. Happy filming for me.
Go and watch another video.
Pretty much so. Okay, so once again, thanks for all your support. We really appreciate it. So if there's anything you feel you can do, please do let us know. If there's any, I hate saying this, but if there's any sort of monetary support you can lend to us, then chuck it at us. It's all appreciated.
Keeps us going.
With in whichever format, super thanks or the PayPal
or just watch
buy me a coffee or whatever. It's all helpful. And hopefully tomorrow, fingers crossed, things go okay, and we will be in a much better position than I was in on Friday. So yeah, brilliant. See you later, people. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.